Airbnb and I am starving, so I'm gonna go get some supplies. And I found that there is just a supermarket literally just down the road. So this is my first time in Portugal. In Porto was my first stop. Headed to the supermarket. It was called Continente. Wanted to check out the fruit. Other fruit. Found a pear tree. Just in the neighborhood streets. This was my Airbnb for the night. I made this epic salad, also had some papaya and nectarines. And then I checked out the town, and the first impressions of Portugal is there is a lot of old and beautiful architecture. Just everywhere I look, it was so much variety in patterns, shapes, and it was quite artistic, and there was lots of these typical mosaic tiles around. There was a lot of historical cultural artifacts to look around, and it had a really iconic style, the Portuguese style of architecture around. And I'm not so much of an architecture person myself, but I thought it was quite fascinating. This was outside the library of J.K. Rowling. I really had no actual itinerary when I arrived to Porto. I literally just walked around the entire city by foot. It was extremely hot. There were a lot of vegan options around, which was cool, but during this visit I was eating literally just only fruit and juices and salad because and this is the McDonald's here. I thought it was really fancy, but I needed to use the restroom because the restrooms are quite limited around Porto. There were a lot of markets, and it was a quite cheap place in Europe to spend money for shopping. So I found Portugal quite cheap, quite hot, very busy, so many people. It is saturated, but there's also tons of hills and lookouts to wander around, and definitely you have to have good walking shoes when you are in Portugal. I was also surprised at how many big Atlantic seagulls there were, because it is on the Atlantic Ocean, I believe. And there was so many lookouts, so much walking, so many stairs in Porto, and then it becomes even next level when I headed towards Lisbon. But for now, I was checking out Porto. I went by the water, I went to the bridge, I did a whole bunch of walking around town. Looking back, I should have brought sun protection because I did get a bit saturated in the heat. This was some river cruise, I believe. And then I wanted to take these, I don't know what you call it. It's like a tram, it's like a lift that takes you to the other side. And I was just curious of where would it take me? And to be honest, I thought it was quite overrated. It's more something to look at from the outside than from the inside, because the lift, it didn't get me very far from what I could have done just by foot, surprisingly. But it was a fun ride, I suppose, but I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you absolutely hate walking. But seriously, the lift it took me didn't take me too very far. It could have just been a 10-minute walk. But I was just curious, so I did go in this lift anyway. see what I see? Yay! 4-leaf. Here in the middle of God knows where. This is creepy. What the fuck? So I am here at this beautiful herb garden that also is contained in a 17-hectare area with the Contemporary Museum. Just found beautiful persimmons. This is what the tree looks like. There's a couple of them here. There's like gum trees here in Portugal. What the heck? So I am here at Campana train rail station kind of thing, and gonna get a train from Porto to Lisbon. I have no idea if this is the right station or not. Lisbon has some amazing steps. Good morning. It's a beautiful day here at Lisbon. Gonna grab some juice for lunch and head to Sintra. So I'm gonna catch a train from Dorossi, and it comes every hour, so I'm kind of in a rush. Just waiting here at the train station. So today we are climbing up the castle of Sintra in Portugal. A lot of palm trees, a lot of sunshine. on my way to the Palace of Pina. So now after like about 10 minutes of walking, I am at the Palace of Pina, also called like the Parque de Sina. Just walking around, beautiful flowers. Here we are, Palace. Oops.
So, yeah, so basically, you know where this town indicators are?
Whoa. So now I'm just exploring the trails around the park. There's like a little kiosk there. Beautiful birds. Heading to the boat.
António Salazar, that was the head of the dictatorship that ruled in Portugal until as well as he was the sponsor. The Gama is the next one holding an astrolabe. An astrolabe is something that looks
A little bit more time, but the driver arrived at the end. But today not.
and for me it has been that's the torque. So we deployed around to the Flanders battle and almost 95% of them died. As well as he was the sponsor. The Gama is the next one holding an astrolabe. An astrolabe is something that looks
A little bit more time, but the driver arrived at the end. But today not.
and for me it has been that's the torque. So we deployed around to the Flanders battle and almost 95% of them died.
Okay, now we're heading to the Mat Museum. So now I am at Mat Gallery, which stands for Museum of Architecture, Art, something else. And it's shaped as a manta ray. So here I am at some random castle. I don't know the name of it yet, but it took about 30 minutes to walk to from my hotel, from the main city. It's called Castle Castillo.